to be honest, I enjoyed watching Regina on The Big Story. But I'm always looking forward also. I told you this. Sabi ko, I look forward to watching you on The Big Story with Bok Edlingao.
You mean the Storycon?
Storycon, sorry. With Ami Pamintuan. And of course, yung dynamics niyo with Ronald.
I'm gonna miss
I
seeing
have a
you
dynamic
every
with
night,
Ronald.
There you go. That's what you should
What did he say?
Nothing.
asked.
Well, when we get off
It was
air.
rhetorical.
But
So-
thank you once again, Regina. Yes.
So it's Friday. What do you guys have for all the sports fans that are waiting?
NBA. NBA.
You know it. But thank you again, Reg. And of course, we'll still see each other. And can't wait to watch on Monday The Big Story with Sean Yao, Pauline Versosa, and of course, Ces Orenia Durilon. And stay tuned for that. And Regina will be moving to StoryCon. On Play-by-Play tonight, we've got Steph Curry with his best scoring game so far this season to lead the Golden State Warriors past the Orlando Magic, plus results of 4 more games on tap in the NBA today.
And we've got updates from the semifinals of the PBA Commissioner's Cup.
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Chascalit Nkalaw.
And here's tonight's Play-by-Play.
Ramiro, the show by Mamoy. Mr. Moves puts it on. Unbelievable. Gemma on the left side. Oh, the pass! Stopping another one. Bacunas rejecting Estevo for the win.
Well, check what's on the menu today. Chef Curry.
Chef Curry with a shot.
What about a 56-piece chicken nuggets against the Orlando Magic? That's right, Steph just dropped a season-high 56 big points to lead the Golden State Warriors to a 121-115 road win. The league's greatest shooter, arguably the best shooter of all time, drained 12 triples during his scoring outburst. It's the 26th time he's had 10 or more three-pointers in a game, which is also an NBA record. All in all, Curry shot 16 of 25 from the field, very efficient. Also made all 12 of his free throws. Curry even outscored the Magic by himself in a pivotal third period, 22-21. During that stretch, the Dubs were able to turn a 14-point deficit into a 5-point lead. Paolo Banchero tried to carry Orlando, though, with 41 markers in a losing effort. But the Warriors extend their win streak now to 5 games and are 7th in the West with 32 victories and 27 losses. The Magic are in the same spot in the East, but with 29 wins and 32 setbacks. At the post-game press conference, Orlando head coach Jamal Mosley gave an insight as to what it was like facing a red-hot Stephen Curry.
Yeah, great player, had a heck of a night. I think that third quarter, I'll have to go back and look at it, see exactly where we let go of the rope, what allowed them to get on that run. Obviously, it was him making shots, but they had to be generated from somewhere, and it wasn't all just in the half court. So I have to go back and look at how we were handling possessions, as well as what allowed them to get out on that run. The man had 56 points. There is no aside from Steph. He had 56. So I completely understand. I mean, I think, so be completely transparent, 34 free throws for a jump shooting basketball team is tough to overcome as well. They shot 45 threes and 34 free throws. And I know we were attacking the baskets extremely aggressively. And so I look at that, and I had a conversation at the end, and I want to help or be helped to understand how we can attack the basket the way that we do. And they shoot a ton of jump shots, and they get 34 free throws. I'm really want to understand that.
Can you imagine being on the opposing team when Steph Curry is on fire like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
They tried. No, they tried.
Yeah.
They tried to defend him. But Steph being Steph, it's just so difficult. Facing, a guy like that who can shoot from anywhere, literally from the court. And you'll see later on the highlight reel as well.
Yep. This is one of those moments. Okay. Okay.
Sa'yo na.
Okay na. Now, how about a mega-sized showdown between Giannis Antetokounmpo and Nikola Jokic? This sounds like a comic book movie, The Greek Freak versus the Joker. And it ends with Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks beating the Denver Nuggets 121-112. The turning point came with about 6.5 minutes left in the third period when Giannis capped a 12-4 run to put his team up for good. Giannis finished with 28 points, a season-high 19 rebounds, as well as 7 assists to lead the Bucks to their 5th win in 6 games. 5 more Milwaukee players scored at least 15 points, with Brook Lopez and Damian Lillard tallying 22 and 19 markers respectively. The Bucks survived triple-double number 27 from Jokic. The Serbian superstar posted 32 points, 14 boards, and 10 assists. The Bucks are still 5th in the East with 33 wins and 25 losses. The Nuggets settle for 3rd place in the West with 38 victories and 21 defeats. In a locker room media scrum, Antetokounmpo talked about their defensive strategy against the reigning 3-time MVP.
It's a team effort. Everybody got to be locked in. Everybody got to be in their spots. Everybody got to be able to compete. And obviously, Brook is on him, but that's the first line of defense. Then we had a game plan. I'm not going to sit down and explain our game plan, but we were trying to be as physical as possible with him, starting with Brook, but whenever he got to the paint, we tried to show bodies, have our hands up, crowd the paint as much as we can, and just keep on making plays, keep on making decisions, which is one of the best decision makers in the league, but just got to keep on making it tough for him and just giving him different looks, and hope by the end of the night you're the one with the W and not their team.
Meanwhile, the LA Lakers give Luka Doncic a nice birthday present after taking down the Minnesota Timberwolves. Final score here, 111-102 in favor of the Lake Show. LA's white-hot offense clicked early, putting them ahead by 23 points in the second quarter. And to make matters worse for Minnesota, All-Star Anthony Edwards got ejected in the third period after picking up his second technical foul. If both techs are upheld, he will be suspended 1 game for picking up his 16th tee of the year. Even without Ant-Man in the fourth, the Timberwolves were able to storm back, though, within 3 points. But Doncic cut the Wolves' momentum by hitting some clutch buckets, including this off-balance 1-foot three-pointer to give the Lakers enough cushion for the win. That man right there, 40-year-old King James, racking up game highs of 33 points, 17 rebounds, and 6 assists. Doncic had an off shooting night, hitting just 6 of 20 shots, including 1 for 9 from deep. But still, he put up 21 markers, 13 boards, and 5 dimes on the eve of his 26th birthday. The Lakers have won now 4 in a row and are back up to the 4th seed in the West with a 36-21 win-loss record. The Wolves, however, are 8th with 32 wins against 28 defeats. Minnesota head coach Chris Finch talks about what went wrong for his squad.
We'll fight back. That's I don't have any doubt about that. I didn't like our body language or energy from some of our guys. Things were hard out there, and we gotta fight through that a little bit better. And then obviously we fouled them a lot down the stretch and couldn't get a couple offensive rebounds, a couple turnovers in transition, which really hurt us. But we need our guys like Nas and Jaden. They gotta play a little better than they did tonight. And they gotta play with a little more force. They gotta, I thought they fought the game. They didn't make the plays. I thought they got a little bit too kind of thirsty at times when things weren't going their way and forced. I thought our shot selection early in the game was poor. It was a game where you're gonna have to work for your offense a little bit more, and we just didn't show the willingness to do that.
As for Luka's former team, the Dallas Mavericks, they held off a likewise depleted Charlotte Hornets side. Kyrie Irving came alive in the second half, scoring 18 of his 25 points to lead the Mavs to a 103-96 victory. Kai also grabbed 9 rebounds. Moses Brown also showed out in his first start for the Mavs, with P.J. Washington joining the team's long injury list. Brown, who was playing the penultimate game of his 10-day contract, tallied 20 markers and 11 boards. The Hornets were without LaMelo Ball due to an ankle injury. In his absence, Mark Williams put up a statement performance with 26 points and 16 rebounds, But it was still not enough to break Charlotte's losing streak. The Mavs are 9th in the West with 32 wins and 28 losses. The Hornets have lost their 5th straight game and 44th overall against just 14 victories.
Oh, one last NBA game, and it features the New Orleans Pelicans with their 3rd straight win behind Zion Williamson's first career triple-double. Big Z had 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists in the Pels' 124-116 dub over the Phoenix Suns. The Valley dug its way out of an 18-point hole and took the lead 91-88 entering the final frame. But that man right there, Zion, look at those moves, the spin. His big night wouldn't go to waste as New Orleans took command in the final minutes. Williamson himself secured a victory with 2 tough buckets down the stretch. C.J. McCollum chipped in 19 markers, and Trey Murphy III added 18. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant combined for 64 points in a losing cause for the Suns. The Pelicans improved to 16 wins and 43 losses for the season. As for the Suns, well, they fall 3.5 games out of the final play-in slot in the West, having just 27 victories against 32 defeats. At a post-game press con, Williamson was all smiles as he talked about his milestone.
It's dope, but it's funny because there were so many times where I feel like it could have happened, but I never forced the issue on it. But tonight, my teammates was like, nah, you got to get it tonight. So I had to thank my coach and my teammates for that. If the defender keeps backing up, at some point, once I get my forward momentum going, he's not just going to stop and jump up. He's going to try to go back, and I feel like that's kind of tough to block a shot while on the way back. So, me and Corey Brewer talk about it a lot, just eating up the space. If the defender gives you space, don't settle, just attack the space.
More bad news for the San Antonio Spurs as head coach Greg Popovich will not return this season. In a statement, Popovich says he will continue to focus on his health with hopes of returning to the sidelines in the future. The 5-time champion coach did not reveal any timetable for his potential comeback. Coach Pop also praised interim coach Mitch Johnson and the rest of his staff for keeping the Spurs together amid what he calls a challenging season. Coach Pop met with the Spurs today to address the team in person for the first time. The 76-year-old coach had been away since November after suffering a stroke. This new update on Coach Pop comes a week after the team announced that All-Star center Victor Wembanyama will not play again this season due to a blood clot in his right shoulder. The Spurs are currently 13th in the West with a 24-33 win-loss slate, including 4 straight defeats. Coming up, another dominant victory for Barangay Ginebra San Miguel in the semifinals of the PBA Commissioner's Cup. That story and more when Play-by-Play returns. And we are back. Thank you for joining us here on Play by Play. The Barangay Ginebra San Miguel Gin Kings dominate the top-seeded Northport Batang Pier once again to take Game 2 of their series in the PBA Commissioner's Cup semifinals. Ginebra quickly jumped to a double-digit lead, going on a 17-7 run en route to a 35-22 first quarter lead. But the second quarter was even better for the Gin Kings as they grew their advantage to 29 points at the half, 68-39. Northport tried to mount a comeback in the payoff period and managed to bring the lead down to 15, but Ginebra got itself together just in time for a 119-106 victory. Japeth Aguilar put on a vintage performance with 31 points to go along with 8 rebounds. Justin Brownlee had a quiet scoring night with 10 points, but he did dish out 11 assists and had 2 steals. Northport star Arvin Tolentino was again off the mark with just 12 points on 5 for 17 shooting. The Gin Kings now have a 2-0 lead over the Batang Pier in their best-of-7 tilt. After the game, Ginebra head coach Tim Cohn spoke about Jamie Malonzo and Jeremiah Gray, both of whom are coming off long layoffs due to injuries. Malonzo came back mid-conference, while Gray just returned today after being sidelined for more than a year.
I think of those two, I think of all the hard work it took to get back to where they are. Jamie was out like 7-8 months, and Amaya was out almost a year and a half. Almost 17, 18 months he was out. So it took a lot of hard work for them to get back to where they are. And so we're just real happy that they're able to play on the floor and contribute. They're both very talented guys, and, we got them to be, players we build around a few years ago, and then we've been missing them all this time. So the fact that we can get them out there and playing, it was especially nice to see Maya tonight get out and get some minutes, hit a 3-point shot, get a couple free throws, and just be out there.
Meanwhile, Game 2 of the semi-series between the TNT Tropang Giga and the Rain or Shine Lasso Painters is currently underway. And much like their first meeting, both teams opened things up, exchanging haymakers here. TNT jumped to an 8-point lead midway through the first quarter behind 13 markers from that guy right there, their import, Rondé Hollis Jefferson. But ROS answered with 3 long bombs to tie the game at the end of the opening period at 24-all. To start the second quarter, TNT's defense then kicked into overdrive, resulting in a bunch of points off turnovers and a 14-point advantage. The Tropang Giga kept their foot on the gas amid the Lasso Painters' relentless pursuit. At the half, TNT was up 54-44. The third quarter is now ongoing, and Tropang Giga are ahead in this best-of-7 series, 1-0.
Moving on to volleyball, it is rest and recovery for now for the Galleries Tower High-Risers as they await their opponents in the PVL All-Filipino Conference quarterfinals. Galleries Tower booked their spot after scoring a huge upset over the Signal HD Spikers in the qualifying round yesterday. With the historic win, the High-Risers enter the quarterfinals for the first time since joining the league in 2023. Galleries Tower will have a 2-week break before returning to action on March 15 against the winner of the Akari Farm Fresh duel.
Tingin ko muna yung deserve nila magpahinga muna. Yes. Kasi as you nabanggit ko rin before, Christmas break may trabaho kami. So this time deserve nila 1 week ba?
Parang more than coach.
Almost na.
More than.
Ay, hindi.
More than coach. More than 1
More than. So ayun, pero hindi pa rin kami pwedeng magpabaya. Kumbaga, ginusto natin to. Abay, mga kalaban natin yung top 6? Yung top 6 pa rin. Alam naman nila yun. Kailangan namin panindigan to. Nilaban namin sa stage na to, alam namin yung pupuntahan namin after this next level. Talagang very challenging. Hindi na pwedeng dito yung on and off. Talagang kailangan namin panindigan to. And alam ko naman, tiwala ako sa mga players na to. Players namin, even sa coaches, paninindigan namin to. kahit lumuha uli kami ng dugo at ng bato. No, kasi nandito na kami. At ito naman din yung gusto namin. Kaya, by God's grace, paninindigan namin.
Meanwhile, the Creamline Cool Smashers remain laser-focused in their title defense after advancing to the PVL All-Filipino quarterfinals. The Cool Smashers made quick work of the next-led Chameleons to move on to the next round. The defending champs now await the 8th seed that will come out from the play-in tournament. But given the new playoff format, team captain Eliza Valdez knows that one loss could erase the Cool Smashers' dominant run. With the stakes higher than ever, Valdez emphasizes that every match is a must-win as teams fight for a spot in the next round.
We're very proud because they've been working really hard in practices. And we've been putting in the work in practices. I would want to siguro say thank you sa mga coaches namin and sa mga staff namin kasi they've been very, very patient and alam mo yung napaka-professional and yung treatment talaga nila sa amin is professional din talaga. So I think it helps the team, the dynamics of the team. Very much important. I think we wanted think that situation as well. Binigyan kami ng extra focus and motivation to actually be aggressive and stay on our target this game dahil sa nangyari kanina. And if not, I mean, we took it as a challenge then. Siyempre, it's an exciting format. Nakakakaba talaga knowing that isang game lang may chance ka talaga umangat. So, we took it as a challenge and a privilege as well. Kaya naman, extra aggressive and focus kami in today's match.
The qualifying round of the PVL All-Filipino Conference continues tomorrow at the PhilSports Arena in Pasig City. First up, it's the second-seeded Petrogas Angels taking on the 11th-seeded Capital One Solar Spikers at 4 p.m. The Angels dominated their preliminary round matchup against the Solar Spikers. Then at 6:30 p.m., it's a clash between the 5th-seeded Chocomucho Flying Titans and the 8th-seeded Cherry Tigo Crossovers. The Flying Titans beat the Crossovers in a close straight-sets battle just last weekend. You can catch the games live on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and on the Pilipinas Live app.
Well, don't worry, volleyball fans. You have more volleyball this weekend with an action-packed Sunday at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum for the Spikers Turf Open Conference. At 1 p.m., let's take a look at the schedule now on our screens. At 1 p.m., the Signal HD Spikers will put their 3-0 start to the test when they take on the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Then at 3:30 p.m., the Alpha Insurance Protectors face off against the VNS Leyte Crete Griffins. And capping off the day at 6 p.m., the Red Hot Crisscross King Crunchers clash with the Savoj Spin Doctors in a must-watch matchup. Catch all the action live on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and of course on Pilipinas Live. Coming up here on Play-by-Play, Ea Laure spotted back on the court. Interesting details on that story and a lot more when Play-by-Play returns only here on One News. Welcome back to Play-by-Play only here on One News. Let's go to the screen right away. We don't have much time. We have a couple of plays for you, the PBA and the NBA. Let's start off with the Gin Kings and the Batang Pierre Thompson to Japet once more. We saw that play the other day. Their connection is just effortless, and they just have to look at each other. They connect. Take a look at this play again. Thompson eluding Tolentino, goes baseline, and then the flush. Japet like it's hot. Aguilar had 31 points in this one, 8 boards. As Ginebra beats Northport 119 to 106 to take now a 2-0 lead against Northport in the best-of-7 series. Okay, up next, let's go to the NBA. In La La Land, LeBron to Vando to the King, LeBron James cutting baseline. What a play there. Luka draws a double, goes to Vanderbilt, who finds the streaking LeBron baseline sky and high. And there's nothing Dante DiVincenzo can do down low when the King is up, and away. LeBron James, game highs of 33 points, 17 rebounds as the Lakers hold off the Wolves at home 111 to 102. And lastly, of course, Warriors Magic. Time running out, 1.5 remaining to beat the buzzer. Yes, arguably the greatest shooter of all time. Steffortless. He makes it Steffortless, as Kenny Smith would say. Steph Curry with a half-court heave. Woo! They were down at this point. They came back, and Curry again, what a night for him. 56 points on the back of 12 three-pointers. Just ridiculous. And he's going to turn 37 in March, too. And still doing this. Warriors beat the Magic 121 to 115. 5 wins in a row now for Golden State. Check.
How do you stop that?
Grabe, no?
All right. Before we go, Ea Laure is back on the volleyball court, but this time it's with Alas Pilipinas. Ea was spotted training with the national team. This marks her first public appearance in action since questions about her club status came up late last year. Laura's future with Cheritigo remains unclear. Negotiations were said to still be ongoing as of November. Despite the uncertainty, Laura is now fully engaged in national team preparations for their next tournaments.
Remember, Ea was here because she'd do the sports for Frontline Pilipinas, and I'd have chats with her, invite her to the show even a couple of times, and she would say, wala pa muna club team, she's focused on Alas Pilipinas, and that just goes to show her commitment to the Philippine team. But Ea, again, the doors of Play-by-Play always open to you if you wanna...
Come on down.
Yes. Talk to Kuya Andre and Tita Cheska.
Whoa.
That's all. That's joke lang. That's all from us tonight. Catch us again Monday at 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of today's top sports stories.
Weekend na weekend. Play-by-play is on One News. That's Signal TV, Channel 8 on SD, and Channel 250 on HD. We are also available on Signal Play and Pilipinas Live.
Fine, Ate Cheska. I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Litoncalo. Thank you for watching. Happy weekend, everyone.